Two boats, same size, same power. One costs nearly double. Dealers say it is about craftsmanship and luxury, but with a $122,000 spread on boats sharing identical specs, the real story runs deeper. Is the $48,000 price gap really for quality, or just quiet profit? What you're about to discover upends everything you've been told about buying a boat. A 24-foot Sea Chaser sits at the dock, salt spray still drying on its hull. The owner, a lifelong fisherman named Mike, runs his hand along the gunnel. For him, the numbers were simple. $93,000 got him a brand new center console with a Yamaha outboard, digital gauges, a T-top, and enough seating for his family to spend weekends chasing redfish. The Sea Chaser 24 HFC isn't flashy. It's built from fiberglass and composite, with stainless hardware and a hull design that has been refined over years, not reinvented every season. Mike points out the self-bailing deck, the straightforward wiring under the console, and the rod holders. Everything he needs, nothing he doesn't. Honest performance matters to him. He recalls the buying process. The sticker price was clear, and the dealer walked him through the basics. No mandatory electronics package, no surprise premium sound system. The out-the-door price after taxes and a modest prep fee landed just above $100,000. Maintenance has been routine. Oil changes, fuel filters, a wash down after every trip. In 2 years, the only issue was a loose cleat, fixed under warranty in a single afternoon. Clear terms and straightforward costs shaped his confidence. Mike's Sea Chaser shares the water with boats twice its price. He's watched friends buy into luxury brands, only to discover the same Yamaha engine bolted to the transom, the same hull length and beam, and the same basic ride on a choppy day. He's seen resale listings where the price gap between his boat and a so-called premium competitor stretches to $48,000 or more, despite nearly identical specs. Price gap is not always about better engineering. Scrolling through online listings, he finds Sea Chaser models from 2022 and 2023 hold in value, with used prices only $15,000 to $20,000 below new. The hulls are built in the same region as many high-end brands, sometimes even by the same contractors. For Mike, the satisfaction comes from knowing he paid for the boat, and not the brochure. He gets to fish, cruise, and anchor out with his family, all without wondering where the extra money went. The Sea Chaser delivers what matters: value, reliability, and a price that leaves room for fuel, gear, and a few extra weekends on the water. A Pursuit S248 sits under showroom lights, its hull gleaming with high-gloss gel coat, every surface polished to a mirror finish. The sticker on the console reads $215,000, before tax, before financing, before a single option is added. The list of features stretches down the page: teak accents, upgraded upholstery, touchscreen electronics, a branded hardtop, and a sound system that rivals most living rooms. It is the kind of boat that gets a velvet rope at the boat show, not a chalked-up price tag. But the real question is not what is included. It is why the price climbs so high for a boat that on paper matches the Sea Chaser almost bolt for bolt. A former sales manager who spent 15 years moving both value and premium brands puts it plainly. Most people don't realize the prep fee is just profit. It's the same checklist whether the boat's 90 grand or 200. He points to the line items on a typical invoice: dealer prep, freight, documentation. None of these make the boat ride better, run faster, or last longer. Yet on a Pursuit, those fees balloon, tucked beneath the promise of a luxury experience. A closer look at the Pursuit's options sheet reveals the pattern. Electronics bundles run $12,000 to $20,000, even though the same chart plotters and radar units are sold aftermarket for half the price. A premium seating upgrade adds $3,500, sunshades, and accent lighting another $4,000. Each add-on is bundled, not just for convenience, but to keep the manufacturer's suggested retail price high and the sense of exclusivity intact. The hull itself, fiberglass, composite, stainless hardware, mirrors what is found on boats costing $100,000 less. The engine, a Yamaha 300, is the same model bolted to the Sea Chaser across the street. The difference is branding, finish, and the weight of the logo on the side. On resale sites, the gap becomes even starker. Used pursuits from the past 2 years, once listed above $215,000, now trade hands for $130,000 to $140,000. That is a $75,000 drop before the first major service. Meanwhile, the Sea Chaser holds steady, its value eroding far less over the same period. For buyers, the premium is not found in the hull or the ride. It is in the perception, the promise, and the price. The central mystery lingers. Where does all that extra money go? As one insider shrugs, sometimes you're just paying for the font on the brochure. A finance coordinator sits at her desk, flipping through a stack of new boat invoices. Each one tells a quiet story of how the final price drifts far from the sticker on the showroom floor. The first page lists the MSRP, $215,000 for a Pursuit S248. The next page, the buyer's order, stacks on line after line. Dealer prep, $2,400. Freight, $3,100. Documentation fee, $699. None of these numbers improve the ride or add a single inch to the hull. They are simply the cost of taking delivery, and they are everywhere. Across the country, these FEs cluster around a median of $3,200 per transaction, but the real range stretches from just under $1,000 to more than $8,000, depending on the dealer and the region. In the Southeast, the documentation fee hovers near $399. In the Northeast, it nearly doubles. California caps dock fees at $85 by law, but prep charges there can top $1,800. Each charge is discretionary, set not by the manufacturer, but by the dealer, who decides what the market will bear. The finance office is where the numbers quietly climb higher. Dealer prep, often described as rigging, cleaning, or inspection, is rarely tied to actual labor costs. Freight charges, supposedly for shipping the boat from the factory, can be inflated well above what third-party carriers would charge. Documentation fees, meant to cover paperwork, are sometimes bundled with vague admin or processing charges, padding profit with little oversight. State regulators in Florida, Texas, and California have issued warnings about excessive or bundled fees, but enforcement is uneven and buyers rarely challenge the numbers before signing. Accessories and protection packages add another layer. Electronics bundles, extended warranties, and even upgraded trailers are frequently rolled into the loan, their true cost obscured by monthly payments. Many buyers walk out thinking they paid the sticker price, only to discover thousands in extras hidden in the fine print. A finance manager explains that most buyers roll everything in: accessories, gap insurance, the works. They just want to get on the water. For the dealer, each add-on is pure margin, often marked up 25 to 80% above wholesale. Invoice analysis reveals that identical boats, same brand, same model, same year, can be sold at dramatically different out-the-door prices simply because of how fees are stacked. Large multi-brand dealerships in high-cost metro areas are the most aggressive, with hidden fee variants averaging $5,600 between identical models sold at different locations. Smaller, independent dealers tend to keep charges lower, but even there, the line items pile up. Consumer protection groups and dealer insiders agree the fee stack is where the real money hides. Freight, prep, documentation, and admin charges quietly inflate the final price of nearly every new boat, often without buyers realizing it. The numbers may seem small compared to the total, but over thousands of transactions, they add up to millions of dollars in hidden margin, money that never touches the boat itself. A dusky 252 sits in the rigging yard, its hull unadorned by luxury emblems or high-gloss stripes. The price tag reads $115,000, rigged with twin 150-horsepower outboards and basic electronics. There is no showroom markup, no bundled packages, and no velvet rope. Instead, the order goes straight to the factory. No dealer stands between buyer and builder. Dusky's reputation is built on hand-laid fiberglass, open wiring chases, and a hull design that has barely changed in decades. Marine surveyors, called in by cautious buyers, routinely measure laminate thickness at just over 1 inch along the keel, with hull sides matching the industry standard for 24 to 25-foot center consoles. The stringer grid is glassed in, not bonded with filler. No cord sandwich, no exotic composites, just layers of woven and matte, resin rolled by hand, and a finish that favors function over flash. A surveyor's voice cuts through the noise of the yard. You are looking at the same core schedule you would find on a boat twice the price. There is no secret sauce in the glass. Where you see the difference is in the upholstery, in the dash layout, maybe in the gel coat shine. But you're not paying for extra structure. He points to a hull cross-section, the glass layers visible under a halogen lamp. If anything, some of these so-called workboats are overbuilt compared to the premium brands. The value is not hidden. It is right here in the layup. Dusky's hull molds have been in service for years, sometimes decades. In the marine industry, molds change hands, and contract manufacturers in Florida and Georgia supply both value and luxury brands. A hull built for a $200,000 boat can come from the same mold as a $120,000 direct sale model, differentiated only by the deck cap, hardware, and paint. Surveyors who have Cord Pursuit, Sea Chaser, and Dusky hulls in the field report no measurable difference in thickness or structural integrity. The resin and glass content, they note, varies more by production batch than by brand. Cosmetic upgrades drive perception, not seaworthiness. The premium brands add stitched upholstery, touchscreen displays, and branded hardtops, but the hull beneath remains fundamentally unchanged. Surveyors explain that the structural elements, stringers, transom, hull bottom, are built to the same safety and performance standards, regardless of price. Warranty claims and repair yard records show similar rates of stress cracking and water intrusion across both premium and value brands in this size range. Dusky's direct-to-consumer model strips out the layers of dealer margin and bundled extras. The buyer sees the invoice, the hull, and the build sheet. There are no hidden fees for prep, no freight markups, no required electronics packages. The $115,000 price covers the boat, the engines, and the basics needed to fish or cruise. Surveyors confirm that the cost savings are not the result of thinner glass or shortcuts below the waterline. Instead, the difference lies in what is above deck and what is left off the invoice. In the end, the marine surveyor's findings are clear. The price gap between a Dusky 252 and a luxury labeled competitor is not justified by the structure of the hull. The real difference is cosmetic, not structural. As he closes his report, he sums it up. If you're paying $40,000 more, you're not buying a stronger boat. You're buying the story, the badge, and the showroom experience. Underneath, the glass is the same. Inside the finance office, the real engine of boat pricing hums quietly behind closed doors. Manufacturers and dealers rely on a web of incentives that shapes every number on the invoice. The most powerful of these is the stair-step bonus, a retroactive reward that pays out only if a dealer sells enough boats within a set period. Hitting the target triggers a windfall, bonuses of $2,000 to $5,000 per unit, paid on every sale in that quarter. Missed by a single boat, and the bonus vanishes. Dealers watch the calendar, slashing prices in the final weeks to move lingering inventory, sometimes selling at or below cost, knowing the back-end payout will cover the gap and then some. A marine finance analyst breaks down the math. On a $100,000 boat, a dealer might accept a thin margin, but the real profit comes from the bonus and the holdback, a hidden percentage, often 2% of invoice, returned by the manufacturer after the sale. These incentives are invisible to buyers but crucial to the dealer's bottom line. Floor plan financing complicates the picture further. Dealers borrow to stock their lots, paying interest rates that climb from 5.5% to over 9% in recent years. Holding a $200,000 boat for 6 months racks up nearly $9,000 in interest. If inventory lingers, the cost can erase all margin, forcing dealers to dump boats at deep discounts just to stop the bleeding. This cycle drives erratic pricing. One month, a 24-foot center console lists at $215,000. The next, as stair-step deadlines loom and floor plan costs mount, the same boat is offered for $60,000 less. The pricing window isn't about the boat's value. It's about timing, incentives, and the dealer's need to protect their own financial survival. For buyers, the sticker shock isn't just about the brand or the options. It is the result of a system engineered to reward volume, disguise true costs, and turn every transaction into a moving target. A year and a half after signing the papers, a pursuit owner scans the latest trade-in offer. The number on the page, $132,000, lands like a gut punch. 18 months ago, the sticker read $215,000. The difference, nearly $83,000, vanished into the wind. He calls 3 other dealers. Each one offers less. One will not even consider the trade, citing slow demand and a glut of nearly new inventory. He is not alone. In the same marina, a Sea Chaser owner lists his boat online. He fields offers just $17,000 below his original price, despite 2 full seasons on the water. The numbers tell the story. Premium brands in this class routinely lose 35 to 40% of their value within the first 2 years, while direct sale and value brands shed far less. For buyers, the lesson is clear. The resale market delivers its verdict quickly, and it is rarely kind to those who paid for the badge. A boater from Sarasota sums it up. He bought his new Pursuit, paid top dollar, and after 18 months, the best trade offer he got was $128,000. That is a $75,000 haircut. His neighbor's Sea Chaser has not had a single issue, and he paid less than half. Protection starts before the down payment. Request a full invoice, not just the buyer's order. Ask for a marine survey, even on new boats, especially if the dealer resists. Demand disclosure of the actual APR, not just the monthly payment. Insist on a line item breakdown of all fees, prep, freight, documentation, accessories, and any bundled packages. Refuse mandatory add-ons that inflate the loan. If the dealer will not negotiate or explain the numbers, walk away. The checklist is simple, but it is the best defense against a price gap that can swallow tens of thousands before the first season ends. Buyers who follow these steps keep more of their money and avoid learning the hard way where the extra $48,000 really goes. Today, a boat's price tag reveals as much about market as it does about engineering. As brands and dealers shape value through perception, buyers face an industry where transparency lags demand. In a market with $48,000 in price swings for similar boats, the real cost is not just dollars, it is trust. The gap endures unless consumers insist on seeing what is beneath the surface.